morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's beautiful sunny Monday morning here in BC. It's just about 10 o'clock a.m. I thought I would start today with a quick little video to finish up something I sat down to do, which just because I'm working in my, as you know, my groovy retro themed journal. And as I was clearing off my desk, couple days ago actually, some things were in my way. So for example, what you see here used to look like this. This is just you know, I've got all kinds of paper bags in my craft room because I find them hard to throw away. In a bin in my needing to create something with bin, and this particular little bundle of bags happened to be sitting on my desk, so I needed to get rid of it and put it aside. But of course it only made it as far as my hands, and I was stopped in my tracks, and I decided to throw something together. So again, just a paper bag folded like this. This one's a bit smaller, of course, as you can see, and this coffee dyed envelope, which I have thousands of. But I'll show you what I did with these two simple little items to look like this. We're going to finish it off today. I thought to myself while I was, you know, making something out of it, why don't I wait and finish it off with you guys, just so you can kind of see what I did and hopefully grab some of these for yourself. I'm sure all of you have paper bags and envelopes lying around. This tie is just a twine from the dollar store, a roll or a ball of twine. And I'm using the retro theme, some of the offcuts and printables and whatnot to carry on with the patterns and whatnot for the journal. This might just be, I'm not sure. I'm either going to sew it into the journal. There's room between the signatures, so I might do a hidden spine little signature with this, and it'll go right into the journal, or it might become an accessory little package to the journal. I think I mentioned in a previous video, if I do sell it, I'm going to have lots and lots of ephemera for the person, whoever buys it, to create and make the journal their own. So this might be that, a part of an accessory. Anyways, so this is what I did. So this paper bag was folded, as you see, and all I did was add some printable images. This was in the junk mail, in a junk mail package that came in the mail. It was a photograph of a mom and her baby. I cut it out. It was obviously advertising something with film or camera related, a camera related ad, I can't remember. And I glued a piece of muslin strip down the front of it. This little pocket, this piece here is this piece here, and I just took an offcut of a file folder and I inked it, backed it with craft paper, added some of the printables, the retro patterny themed printables, and a little tab. So it's a journaling card that sticks in the front, just like this. And then I added, I stamp on to pieces of muslin, and then I cut chunks of it off. So I glued this piece down on top of the front flap, and when you open it up, here's just a patterned collaging. And then I took a notebook, tore up the pages, inked it, and so these are journaling spots. So it's just how to utilize the junk you have laying around to either make them into journaling spots, or you could also open it up, of course, and then it becomes a treasure bag full of goodies if you want. Oh, and where did this thing go? There it must have fallen right down to the bottom. There it is. So that is the paper bag transformation. And then this was the envelope. So I want to show you how I opened the envelope, because it's going to be a little journal. I've got the papers ready. We're going to sew them in together after we decorate the inside. This is my little bundle of paper that we're going to use to sew in as a signature into it. But I wanted to decorate the inside with you, but I want to share what I did. So I opened it up like this. So here's the envelope. It was all enclosed. It looked just like this, plain and boring, but yet beautiful. Because I just, the sounds of these envelopes, oh, and this little see-through window, those are my favorite things. So anyways, all you do is you open it up. Because it's an older envelope, it tears pretty nicely. I'm risking this doing it live here, but it opened up beautifully. So here you have an open envelope. And then what I did was, well, let's just look at what I did. And on the front, I just added a little pocket, and I collaged it with some more muslin with one of the tailor-made journal stamps. And I used some trim and some lace. So, and these are just little offcuts of paper that I backed onto a paper pad cardstock to keep it oldie. And oh, and this too, this was my favorite thing. This arrived 2 days ago, everybody. I'm sure I'm the last to the party with this stencil. I've been wanting it for so long, and I just hadn't gotten around to getting one. And this did finally arrive in the mail. Amazon. I ordered it off Amazon, and it's the coffee dyed, the coffee spill splatter splashes stencil. I've seen so many of you using this stencil, and I always wanted it. So I got it, and then I started to play with it, as you can see. And you can also see what I did inside my signature pages. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this coffee spill look. Now I saved some of the pages to do with you. And then, yeah, so anyways, so I'm going to show you now. This goes in here one at a time is easier. And literally just offcuts of pieces of scraps here. Probably actually, yeah, I'm sure these are pieces of scraps that I have used it throughout my retro journal too. So I added some of one of the printable pieces for strengthening the center, because of obviously this little envelope is not the strongest, so this just gives some strength to the spine of it. But before we sew in the signature, I'd like to finish with my plan of how I wanted to finish this off. So because, like I said, it's going to go in my retro theme journal, which has all these types of patterns in it, these pages. Some of you will have had a peek of these types of patterned pages. Gives the old 70s vibe look. So I'm using some offcuts. So I wanted to glue this little piece there. Oh, there we go. My pin got stuck in my glue. So I'm just gonna, oh, better get that put back on. Okay, my glue is a little bit slow this morning. Probably because I need to be better at making sure my tip is cleaned off before I cap it. There we go. So what are you guys working on today? Something papery, hopefully? There's just so many. I have a few things on the go currently in my craft room. So I'm trying to use up some of these bits. Okay, let's get that on a little straighter than that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that just pulls in some of the theme of the printables that I'm using throughout the journal. And I love to use authentic pieces of papers and stuff. I just absolutely enjoy doing that. So on the inside, you don't have to cover anything. I often don't. I do like the authenticity of the original pieces of papers that I use, but I'm going to use some of this craft paper that I purchased recently. I've never bought craft paper because I use a lot of paper bags for this kind of thing. Tear them up, pull them apart. But I found a whole, I think there's 150 sheets for such a good price. So I ordered them from Amazon and it arrived like the next day. So it was kind of nice. And these are nice too to use for backing up tags and whatnot. Okay, so now we're going to glue this down on this piece inside. Okay, that's one side. And then I'd already obviously cut these before I did this video yesterday, or I cut them yesterday to do this video for today, and I waited before I glued it down because I want to show you what I'm doing with this too. I want to use the see-through window, but I want to use a patterned piece of paper. So that's what you're going to see through the window. So I can't glue the whole piece down. So I need to kind of glue around the three sides because it's going to be a tag tuck. So these are just little tricks for all you guys and gals who are new to this whole paper crafting, junk journaling community. These are little tips that I learned along the way too. Because you can make anything into a pocket. Absolutely anything. Or into a tag. So let's see if this is going to work. In theory, I'm hoping, but I don't know. Okay, so it's glued down. Listen. Oh, I love it. So I'm going to see if this piece of paper fits into my into the little window. Here we go. And it does. Yay! It fits perfectly. Okay, so I used my little, I used this guy, paper tab punch. It's more of an or a rectangular punch, and then I just grabbed something that was near my desk, a piece of lace offcut from something I was using, and I put it through, made a bow. And this bow, I like that it catches at the top and it prevents it from falling all the way through because here it sits, and it kind of adds a cute little topper. So it worked. Yay, I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm going to decorate the back because, well, you know what? I probably will. I probably will get a piece of this here. Like here's an offcut. And I'm going to probably use this somehow to collage the back just to keep a nice flow, a nice pattern flow. Okay, so together we're going to sew this baby and this signature. But first, let's have a bit of fun stenciling with my new stencil. I'm so excited about this stencil. Like I said, I've been eyeing it for, I bet you, a couple years. I don't know why it took me this long to get it, but it just adds a real grunge to our paper. I don't want to put too much because it is going to be journaling, for journaling. Isn't that kind of pretty? It's so funny. Here we're always careful that we don't spill our coffee on things, but now we're buying stencils that make it look as though we'd spilt our coffee cup on our pages. Excuse me. I got that morning phlegm in my throat. I mean, really, you can place it anywhere. There's just no rule. It is kind of cute. I love it. I love it, love it. And there we go. Okay. So we did that together. Want to make sure these are in the order that I want, and they are. So let's go ahead and sew these into the signature. I'm going to use the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Now, this is just a very simple little signature, so I don't need to, well, I think I will for the sake of viewers. I'm going to paper clip things so they don't move. This is what I would normally do if I'm sewing in really big signatures, like 20-page signatures into an, one of my multi-signature journals. I won't bother doing this first one. So there's my little pokey tool. So I just eyeball the middle. And one thing I like to do is I like to keep the flap down as tightly as I can. It just helps with the hole not being like too sloppy or too big. Nice and crisp. And I already pre-threaded this needle, and all I'm using for this is baker's twine from the dollar store. So we're going to go through the first hole. Helps if I could see too. There we go. Oh, I'm missing the pages here. There we go. Yeah, I have not really ever used baker's twine for, I usually use my, it doesn't, oh, I know why it's not pulling so beautifully, is because I used, well, this is definitely thicker, so I don't typically use this. It's working, but, and then we'll go through the bottom hole. I take off my clips. Okay, so now we're going to tie it into the center, but you want to make sure that your tension is, you can see that it's got some good strength to it. I'm going to go through the middle. So then you just grab your two ends, and you go, I try to give it one last little snug. And then I tie 2 knots, and I go one direction and then the other. And then the opposite side. It's been said that it helps keep the knot from ever coming apart, which I kind of doubt it ever would, but you don't know. So now you could keep the length, the ends of your, whatever it is you used for your thread or tie. I might leave a little piece hanging out. Excuse me. So that's it. It's nicely tied in now. And I guess what I've made a decision already then is not to sew it into the signature of my journal, because I've already sewed it in here. So for example, if I were to, actually I still can. I can sew it as a bundle like this. Ooh, and I just might do that. It could go right here. And then this whole little project would be like one whole piece. I think I might do that. You know what? You know what, guys? I could have done that right here. I'm not sure. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do with that yet, but we'll see. Anyways, so what I was going to do, and I still might. So you see how we've got space between the 3 signatures? Like you can see this. You could easily get some more things sewn into that spine. And it would look so lovely, because it would be peeking up over the top. You see that? And I might actually do one more of these, because I have, like I said, so many of these envelopes. So I might end up doing that, sewing one in here and one in here. We'll see. Decisions, decisions. But for now, I just wanted to show you this and finish it off with you guys today. So yeah, take your envelopes, find your paper bags, fold up some pages, make a signature, sew it in. It becomes cute little journaling made out of your scraps with a bunch of journaling spots from this paper bag, which folds over. Notice that this printable here blends in with the window printable, which was all on purpose. And let's tie it back up. I want to show you one more quick little thing before I bounce off. See? So cute. Okay, that's done. So now I wanted just to quickly show you another thing that inspired some giant tags. So this is what the Tim Holtz stencil came in, only it was a straight across backing. You know what the backing, his backing pages he uses for anything you buy. I never throw these away. I always use them up. I've got a stack of these. But I decided, because of this stencil and how it's perfectly cut like a tag, and because my journal is a decent size, I wanted to make some giant tags with the groovy retro theme patterns and whatnot to go into the journal to use as big journaling spaces. So again, this is some of that paper that you saw in the paper bag. I backed onto these tags that I cut out using this as the stencil. Actually, I used this against the back of the package it came with, and then I used this as the stencil, and I just traced around some other pieces of my junk. Like here are some more envelopes I cut into a tag style, so when I decorate these up, it's not going to open up, it's not going to be a journal, but it's going to be a tag used out of my envelopes. So I cut 2 of them like this, and then I'll stuff a nice big tag inside, and they'll sit in my journal after I decorate them. And then I took a couple of file folder pieces, used the template out of this, traced it around, and then I cut these tags out. They're giant and I love them, but they'll fit in my journal, which is why I made them this size. So I plan on decorating. I've decorated 2. This here used to look, these used to look like this, and I just took offcuts of the pages that I'm using for the journal, collaged, added some lace trims and whatnot, used the kit comes with some whale tail punches, and then I just made them into journaling tags. Aren't these cute? So I'm just trying to share with you what you can do with stuff you have at home. File folders, old file folders, envelopes, cut them into tags, make them into little journals like I just showed you with this one. So just the ideas are endless. So I'm hoping that this inspires somebody today to just grab some stuff that's sitting around your desk that you may not have otherwise realized you could actually use up. If I had a little more time today, we could decorate one more tag. I have 3 signatures, so there's 1 in each signature, and this is the 3rd one. But I don't. I have to bounce. I've got some stuff I've got going on today. But this is what I'm going to do at some point today. I'm going to use up some more offcuts. See how you can use your offcuts? And you use them into your tags or whatever you're doing. Just use them up. These are probably going to be part of another signature, because I'm going to make that other envelope into another signature. So I've got my pages ready to go. And yeah, so I hope you guys were inspired. This is kind of a quick little video, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take your basic simple papers and make them into beautiful little treasures, because before you know it, Before you know it, you've created something just absolutely perfect and handmade, and isn't that extra special? So thanks for stopping by, everybody. I mentioned a couple videos ago I am going to do a giveaway, and that giveaway is coming up very quickly. So stay tuned. I've got so many different things I could give away, but we'll decide. I'll figure that out yet, and then we'll probably do a couple giveaways. So I hope you guys will play along. I thank you so much for being a subscriber of mine. You're lots of fun to craft along with. And I hope to see you guys again real soon. So with that, I'll say goodbye and have a wonderful day.